Yeah. How are you? How you guys doing on a Friday afternoon? I'm coming to you live from Rittenhouse Square, where there are freaking characters absolutely everywhere. And today, I'm giving out free caulk lessons. I don't know if that's going to come across creepy to any of these people or not, but I'm not kidding. I'm really going to teach you guys how to lay down a bead of caulk so that you can get rid of all of your unsightly little cracks and gaps. And I'm going to do it all while being surrounded by all of these funny people. We got a guy that's circling the park right now with a megaphone asking everybody if we have found Jesus and if we know where Jesus is. So when I'm done, maybe I'll go help him find the guy. So anyway, I'm glad to be here. In just a second, I'm going to show you guys how to caulk, and if anybody comes along and wants to learn how to lay down a bead of caulk, I'm certainly not going to turn them away. But before I do that, I definitely want to talk to you guys about my new show called House Calls with America's Funniest Handyman and friends on Sunday mornings live at 10 o'clock. This Sunday we have Julia Scotti. I have done stand-up comedy with Julia Scotti right here in downtown Philadelphia. I don't think I ever performed with Julia at Helium, which is just a few blocks away, but that club is for hosers and clickies and all that stuff. Anyway, the really good choice performers in Philadelphia, the great local stand-up comics, do not perform at Helium. They perform in and around in all these other weird venues that pop up all the time. What am I talking about? Anyway, Julia Scotti's going to be on the show Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, and we're going to talk about mitering corners. We're going to be teaching everybody how to do some very basic mitering so that you can put together picture frames and baseboard moldings and stuff like that. So come on the show. We'll learn a little bit about Julia. We'll learn a little bit about miter tools. Right now, what I did is I was just on a job site just a few blocks away from here, and I had to do some caulking today. I had to do some very detailed caulking. Stuff had to look perfect, and I realized that most of you guys talk about caulking, but you really don't know how to do it properly, and because you don't know how to do it properly, you probably avoid it quite a bit. So I made these little things, a couple of these today, and they have, if you can see, I made a little gap just for you guys who aren't maybe very good at putting some of your pieces together. So this has an instant gap that we're going to fill with caulk in just a second. So let me talk to you about the key to putting caulk on is you want to cut the end of the tube. First of all, you want to get a decent gun. I really like this gun. I've had it for a while now. I got it at a big box store. I won't say which one, but it is very sensitive, meaning that if I stop applying pressure and the conditions are right, the tube just stops actually feeding, which is very nice. So I can get very detailed with this. So you can do some real small detail work if you cut a nice little bevel on the end of the caulk gun. And then the key to caulking, as I have learned from many, many years of experience, and also some union glazers. Glazers are guys that work on windows and make everything seal nice and tight. These are the masters of the caulk, if you will. They use baking knives and all kinds of things to lay their caulk off and make it smooth. I realize that this entire broadcast is laden with double entendres, but I'm trying to keep a straight face because, you know, it's pretty serious. Caulking is very serious business, so let's get serious. The key to laying down a good bead of caulk is to just put enough caulk in the crack, and that's it. Don't put a whole bunch extra and then plan on wasting it and smoothing it out. That's how you make a mess. So let me show you how I take this little angle and I squeeze very, very carefully until the caulk comes out, and then I apply very ginger pressure until I'm getting just the right amount in there. Look at that. I haven't even used my finger yet. So you don't want to lick your finger to do the caulking. Not only is it disgusting, but it's going to get you sick. And you don't need to wear gloves for everything either, folks. Let me just tell you something. I've been working in the trades for over 30 years. I wear gloves for some things to protect my hands from danger. But when it comes to dirt, dust, and chemicals and stuff like that, I normally don't use them. And look at me, I'm just fine. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine. That kid just gave me the funniest look. He was like, "What the hell is that guy doing?" Anyway, so you get your finger nice and wet with a wet rag. This rag is soaked. You can't tell, but it's soaked with water. And I'm using water-based caulk. So watch this. A wet finger just wipes off that bead of caulk. And now it's ready for paint, and it'll look gorgeous. How about that? I can't believe nobody's taking me up on my free caulk lessons right here in Rittenhouse Square, 5:30. Nobody showed up. I put out a flyer. Maybe I didn't put out enough flyers. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, remember that when you're putting the caulk in the gap, just enough. You don't want to overfill the crack. Just enough, and then lay it off nice and smooth with a wet finger, and then wipe off your wet finger with a clean rag and all that other stuff. Hey guys, I'm sorry nobody took me up on my caulking lessons, but it was really nice to be here in Rittenhouse Square, and I'm glad you guys showed up today. I'm really grateful that you guys showed up today. I will be back next week with more of my goofy smile and some basic homeowner tips to make your life a little bit easier. As always, thanks for letting me bring a little bit of humor and a whole lot of experience onto your job site.